So what is your routine there? You come out here and sit and have a cigar and a coffee? And
that's it.
So now we're pulling up to a house in Largo, Florida. This was another pond that we used to maintain. It was another pressurized filter, exposed liner. Pond was leaking. Walls were collapsing because the sugar sand in Florida, you can't just build a straight wall because the sand just completely collapses the walls. After trying to figure out the plan, it just came down to let's redo it all. Once again, it's one of those projects that just kind of expanded on their own. Once the pond was agreed upon, then the landscaping came in, and then we did some another fountainscape, and it turned out really good. All they do is add the beneficial bacteria, and it stays clear all year round. And even in Florida, the plants become dormant in the cooler months, so about 3 months of tropical water lilies to start. All right, this is also another residential home in Largo on the water, and this pond is just about a year and a half old. Almost the same situation. This pond was a concrete pond. She was calling me on a weekly or monthly basis saying that her waterfall has slowed down, and it was because her pressurized filter was impacted, or she was losing water. And she went through probably 8-9 other pond guys, just kind of putting band-aids on the project.
and this is what we tell people all the time. It's always easier to do something right the first time. It's always cheaper to do something right the first time than 8 or 9 other pond guys trying to put band-aids. Just blow it up and fix it. Is that what you did? Or?
Exactly. That's exactly what we did. I mean, there are other pond builders that actually would break out the concrete and sunk in a skimmer box, but it never sealed, so it was leaking. And it took probably about 6 months of coming out here for service calls for her to really convince her that we need to redo it. That's the only thing. I can't continue to come
She just
out.
finally got frustrated and established trust with you.
Exactly.
Oh, is that the house?
Yes, this is the house. So it's a big driveway.
Wow.
Definitely a lot of space in the front, and they live pretty much right on the canal. They're straight past the big houses. There is the Gulf of Mexico. When I first came out here, after discussing kind of a budget, the husband didn't even want to even see my face. He's seen enough pond guys. And I remember him stepping out, and he asked, how much is this going to cost me? And I didn't really even have an answer for him at that point. And then he said some number, that's how much he would spend. And it was definitely not anything that we could do in that price range. And kind of just left it as, well, I'm sorry, there's nothing we can do. So after a couple weeks, I got the phone call that they wanted to kind of meet at my house and kind of go over some ideas and also show them an ecosystem pond. Because the ecosystem pond, they never even knew what that was. So going to my house, showing them how it's built, no exposed liner, no concrete, nothing, the easy maintenance of it, pretty much they were sold on it from there. All right, Pinellas Ponds and Waterfalls team just finished another project, 5.5 days. We completely changed this whole entryway to this home. It had a concrete pond that was becoming a headache instead of a pleasure. Had multiple other pond guys involved throughout the years trying to fix it, but it ultimately came down to, let's redo it. So what we did is we ended up adding a bubbling fire urn, which looks unbelievable at night, and it's all lit up. We also changed all the landscape lighting. We put in new fresh plants and put in a beautiful ecosystem pond. This pond is an 8-foot stream and an 8x11 pond. We have some nice driftwood pieces in there. We have some nice aquatic plants, all new lighting inside the pond, all LED. We have a 4,000 gallon power pump that's really energy efficient. Some nice sized koi in this pond, enjoying the fish cave. There's 2 fish caves, one right over here where all the fish are kind of tucked back in, and then there's one at the very bottom. Nice sounding meandering stream. This pond has a great view from the porch when they're sitting outside relaxing, having a cup of coffee. And also, what a great view from looking outside their window from their family room. And the old pond was right here. You just kind of wrapped around this tree, and it actually went under the walkway. And it just wasn't, it was always leaking and always was a challenge. So the way I wanted to discuss it with them was, let's get it closer to your window. Let's get it closer to your entryway so you can actually sit out here and enjoy it. So definitely, after we built it, the husband been hanging out here, drinking his coffee, smoking his cigar every morning compared to looking out at the water view in the back.
Isn't that funny?
He refused to fix it. He said that the sidewalk is going to collapse, so I won't do this. So find somebody else. So I just called him, and I went to see what he had in
his house. Yep.
Yeah, and I thought, I've got to do this because we can't handle the work anymore. So it's completely different layout now. In the garage, I have this pump that I had to go in the pool once or twice a week and try and get the muck out because there's no other way to do it. So that's all gone. I don't do anything.
You just sit out here with Jeff and smoke cigars, right?
Absolutely. He's there all the time. We don't even use the front anymore. He's so happy with this.
Are you serious?
Yeah. We have a front, back porch is gorgeous, but he'd rather be here with a cigar and watch the fish.
So this was really your kind of baby. And your husband was just getting frustrated with all of the work and the money pit that it was.
He's not a physical person, so was me. There all the time. Yeah.
So, but now that he's got this.
Absolutely loves it. He's out there. We're all aging a little bit, so he watches a lot of TV, and we sit out and have our cigars, or his cigar. Yeah.
So what is your routine there? You come out here and sit and have a cigar and a coffee? And
that's it.
I love your orange koi. That is my favorite.
We had only one loss. That's why the string is over there. He caught him and took him.
So the blue heron caught one fish, and he was the sick one.
He was the sick one.
That's how nature works.
Yeah. He didn't consider himself to be sick. He was very independent, and I wasn't smart enough to catch him.
And every fish has its own personality, don't they?
Yeah, he really did.
Yeah.
So he's gone. But other than that, they'll be fine.
Yeah, there's 9 there.
I've had some pictures of him landing over there, waiting to catch something. So I finally got this fish line set up, and that seems to be enough.
Hey, that's awesome.
All right, well, this is in Pinellas Park, and it's at a mobile home park.
A mobile home park?
Yes, it's one of the 55 and older communities. The name of the park is called Clearwater Cascade. So
this is the commercial project.
Yes, yes, this is the commercial project, and it ended up they had what I would almost call a volcano or a dinosaur poop water feature before, and they wanted me to come out and see if I could patch it. They've had pool guys out, they've had everybody out there. And just when they sent me the pictures, I said, there is nothing we can do. We need
Thank God you stick to your guns.
To redo it. And I really sold it on the name of the neighborhood, Clearwater Cascade. You need cascading waterfalls. You don't need this mound of dinosaur poop or whatever you want to call it. So this became kind of their entryway into their...
Very nice. Everybody coming right through here will be able to see that.
And the number one happiest customer is the person right here to the right.
Hey, you like your waterfalls?
Beautiful.
Looks a little nicer?
A lot nicer.
Looks really nice. Is this your house right here?
Yeah.
Oh, you got the perfect view.
Well, we watched it tear down, but we watched it built.
How you doing, sir? I'm the pond guy, Greg.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah,
We look at it every morning out of our window eating breakfast.
That's perfect. How long have you lived here?
7 years.
Okay. It's time to take the Christmas lights down, huh?
Yes.
You're not those kind of people that leave them up for 6 months out of the year?
No, we're not allowed to.
This looks beautiful. Thank you. Nice. So you just built this a few months ago? Or?
No, this was probably about 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Took 4 days to build.
Wow.
We used probably close to 60,000 pounds. And yeah, it turned out really well.
So what was nice was you had big rocks, but you had easy access right here at the end of the road here.
Yeah,
huh?
exactly. And this was all flat before we started. It was actually a concrete mound of, like I said, the dinosaur pit. So what we had to do is really bring in a lot more fill dirt to build up the berm.
Uh-huh.
And then we have a large holding tank down below with all the aqua blocks, and we have
What size pumps?
we have 2 9PLs. But other than that, it's all got tons of lighting. At night, this thing really pops. There's no way that any resident would ever crash their vehicle or get hard into it.
Yeah, and so it was a 4-day project. What'd you sell it for?
In the 42,000.
Okay, nice.